Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke on a whole host of issues during his interview with the magazine Newsweek. Highlight was the current situation and developments in Jammu and Kashmir post the abrogation of Article 370 on the 5th and 6th of August 2019 and the sensitive border issue with China. Prime Minister Modi also spoke on India's thriving economy and also issues such as sustainability. Answering questions on national and international issues, Prime Minister Modi said that India is a country with great potential and in a massive transformational phase right now. Mr. Modi said there are sweeping positive changes post the scrapping of Article 370. He also said that terror activities and stone pelting incidents have been on a decline. And speaking on the border issue with China, he says that bilateral issues or bilateral ties are important not just for the two nations but for the entire world. Modi also said that there are sweeping positive changes in the valley as well in Jammu and Kashmir. He highlighted that over 21 million tourists have visited Jammu and Kashmir in 2023 alone. He also said that the state has even hosted global events like the Formula 4 racing, G20 meetings and the Miss World beauty pageant as well. He also noted that digital economy and startups are witnessing a surge in India. Addressing the sensitive border issue with China, Prime Minister Modi said that the prolonged issue has to be addressed immediately. He added that though through positive as well as constructive bilateral engagement, peace and tranquility can be achieved. He also added that there would be a betterment in ties and that would prove beneficial not just for India and China but for the world at large. He also exuded confidence on India's growing economy. He claimed that India is a young country and the focus would be on transforming India into a developed nation by 2047. He also added that India is venturing into the AI and green energy space, emphasizing the digital revolution that's taking place in the country. He also mentioned that India ran the world's largest poverty eradication drive, which helped over 250 million people to get out of poverty. Well, let me go across to Pragya now for more on this. Pragya, it's an exhaustive interview where the Prime Minister addressed multiple issues and multiple questions that have been posed by Newsweek. We've just read out some of the highlights, but some of the issues that actually stand out are his comments vis-a-vis China and, of course, the developments that have taken place in Jammu and Kashmir post the abrogation of Article 370. Well, we'll try to get back in touch with Pragya for a perspective on the interview that Prime Minister Modi has given Newsweek. Now, the Congress party has been quick to pounce on some of the Prime Minister's statements and his responses to Newsweek, especially pertaining to questions that have been asked on the border dispute with China. In the interview, Prime Minister Modi said that the issue has to be addressed immediately through constructive engagement. Jairam Ramesh's tweet attacking Prime Minister Modi immediately elicited a response from the BJP as well. Now, reacting to that particular issue, the BJP spokesperson, Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, raked up the Kachativa matter and said that the Congress lacks commitment and courage to safeguard the country's sovereignty. That was his response.
Actually, one of the most disgusting statement has come from Congress party when one of the senior leader of Congress party has said that Kachathivoo is not an important island, it has to be given. It symbolizes the same mindset of Congress party which Nehru has said about Aksai Chin, कि घास का एक तिनका नहीं उगता जाने दीजिए. 60 years back, same thing they have done in 1974 in Kachathivoo. This shows that the Congress lacks commitment and lacks courage to defend the integrity and uphold the dignity of India.
Well, let me go across to Pragya right now. Pragya, strong comments coming from Jairam Ramesh, who said that Modi missed out on a very big opportunity to actually send out a strong message to China, something he could have done in that interview, but he did not. That's the Congress party's claim, and it's now received a rebuttal from the BJP as well.
Well, Congress has been launching a scathing attack on Prime Minister on his comments regarding China. But Prime Minister is very clear in his head. He wants peace and equality in the region, and not just for the two nations, but for the world. This is exactly what he said in his Newsweek interview. And, you know, going by the fact that Prime Minister has not just left China, in solitude. In fact, he said that till now China has been the manufacturing hub, but now world is looking at India to replace China. We have the potential and we'll do it. We are on its way a bit to become the manufacturing hub, and we are soon going to replace China as well. And not just that, we need to also strengthen our borders so that we will know where we have to secure our land as well. This is exactly what Prime Minister has said in the interview. Now, responding to that scathing attack by Jairam Ramesh, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, who is a union minister, and also Sudhanshu Trivedi, who is a spokesperson, both of them in fact turned the table around on Congress and Jairam Ramesh, asking what they did about Kachativu. Do they have any response to that? It is they who has sold that out to Sri Lanka, and also about other places. It's not just an issue of Kachativu, but there are many other areas that have been easily let off by the Indian continent, by the Indian government to other nations as well. And Mr. Hardeep Puri has in fact asked, what about your comment on nothing grows on the land regarding Ladakh? Correct. And all. So you also had let that land go. So there are many questions that Congress too need to answer about this. Sure. And this is exactly what BJP is asking, and BJP is saying that we can't. Prime Minister is very clear on the war and peace issue. Prime Minister has been urging that war is no answer to any problem in the region, and we need to ensure that there is peace and tranquility. If you need to take over any country and any neighboring country who is not very pally with you, who is not cooperating with you, there are other ways to do it. Right. You can harm those countries, economically as well. You can take the business away by enhancing your capacity.
Right,
so
Pragya, in fact, stay with us. Now, there have been some responses that have come in from the Bharatiya Janata Party, not just Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, but Hardeep Singh Puri, as well as has now reacted very strongly to Jairam Ramesh's claim that the interview was a practical clean chit to China on the part of the Prime Minister.
I'm not used to, and I don't intend to react to every nonsensical statement that is made. Prime Minister Mr. Jairam Ramesh is talking about a party. What party is he talking about? They won't even get 40 seats in the coming Lok Sabha election. What did they do in the case of the Kachativu issue? They ought to be ashamed of themselves. Idhar ke baad udhar kar dete hain, patangad bana dete hain. One of them the other day turned around, I think it was Digvijay Singh ji, who said, nothing grows there. Nothing grows where? You're talking about issues of national territory.
So, Pragya, coming back to you, you're of course taking us through the responses that have been given by the Prime Minister in that interview. Strong comments now coming from BJP leaders who are trying to rebut Jairam Ramesh's scathing tweet and comments, where he's basically accused the Prime Minister of giving a clean chit to China in that interview.
Well, with China, the important issue with India is of borders, and they keep on coming, and we keep on, pushing them back. This is because, as BJP leaders also said, that this is because there is no clarity on the demarcation of the lining of the border as well. However, Prime Minister in his interview to the Newsweek has clarified this time that we need to work on a diplomatic relations, bilateral ties, and we need to restore peace on the borders as well. This is the important statement that has come from the Prime Minister, because he knows that the tranquility and peace is the only way forward for the nation to grow. And once you restore the peace and tranquility, then you take the next step of getting your land back or ensuring that there are no further altercations regarding the borders. You may sit down together and you solve the problems. So this is exactly the solution that BJP leaders are giving right now, and they are in fact questioning the Congress of why they didn't do it for last 60 years, and why is it that they, in fact, it is their leadership, the then Prime Minister, who had let go of the land, and this is exactly why we are facing all these problems. So this is the kind of attack that we are also
Pragya, let me just interrupt you for a moment there, because we're getting some political responses, more political responses. Mr. IP Singh of the Samajwadi Party now joins us. Mr. IP Singh, इंडिया ब्लॉक के जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स हैं, उन्होंने काफ़ी क्रिटिसाइज किया है प्राइम मिनिस्टर को. उनके जो इंटरव्यू है न्यूज़वीक में उन्होंने दिया है, चाइना के बारे में काफ़ी कुछ बोला है उन्होंने, लेकिन कांग्रेस पार्टी उनके बयान से संतुष्ट नहीं है. वो कह रहे हैं कि चाइना को उन्होंने क्लीन चिट दे दिया. इसके बारे में आप क्या कहेंगे?
देखिए, सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी जो बीजेपी के सांसद हैं, मैं तो ये चाहता हूं कि अगर विपक्ष की बातें आपको अच्छी नहीं लगती, मीडिया को अच्छी नहीं लगती, तो कम से कम लगातार चीन पर सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी जी बोल रहे हैं, उनके ट्वीट्स आ रहे हैं, वो लगातार तमाम सेमिनार्स में बोल रहे हैं, उस पर भी बीजेपी को जवाब देना चाहिए, प्रधानमंत्री जी को देना चाहिए, क्योंकि मोदी जी चीन की यात्रा करने वाले देश के सबसे ज्यादा प्रधानमंत्री है। और जिस तरह से शी जिनपिंग को लेकर वो अहमदाबाद में झूला झूला रहे थे, साबरमती तट को घुमा रहे थे, फिर दक्षिण भारत में भी उन्होंने जो कुछ किया पूरे देश ने देखा था। पूर्वी लद्दाख पे जो पेट्रोलिंग पॉइंट है नंबर 5 से लेके 17, 24, 32, 37, 51, 52, 62, क्या इन पॉइंट्स पर हमारे विदेश मंत्री, हमारे देश के रक्षा मंत्री, हमारे देश की गृह मंत्री क्या इस पॉइंट पर पहुंच सकते हैं जो भारत के कब्जे में था? आज पूरी तरह लेह लद्दाख में आप देखिए कि किस तरह से वहां जो सोशल एक्टिविस्ट हैं वो लगातार मार्च की बात कर रहे थे। वहां धारा वांगचुक के खिलाफ धारा 144 लगा दी गई, हम सीमा तक मार्च नहीं कर सकते। तो हालात चाहे डोकलाम हो, चाहे अरुणाचल प्रदेश हो, स्थिति मतलब कंट्रोल से बाहर है और बीजेपी बैकफुट पर है। प्रधानमंत्री बयान देने से बचते हैं। तो विपक्ष ये चाहता कि प्रधानमंत्री जी आप डिबेट करिए, सामने आइए, गृह मंत्री जी सामने आइए और आप डिबेट करिए कि अरुणाचल पर आपका स्टैंड क्या है। क्या सेना में बैठाने के लिए?
लेकिन बीजेपी तो सवाल इंडिया ब्लॉक से ये भी पूछ रही है आईपी सिंह जी कि कच्चतीवू के बारे में कांग्रेस पार्टी ने क्या किया था। क्या वो सवाल समाजवादी पार्टी अपने एलाय कांग्रेस को भी पूछेगी और कच्चतीवू के ऊपर भी एक डिबेट चाहेगी? वो
आप बिल्कुल करिए। आप ये अननेसेसरी ये सब डिस्कशन इसलिए किया जा रहा है क्योंकि जो हजारों वर्ग किलोमीटर जमीन चीन ने कब्जा लिया है, जहां हमारी चौकियों को तहस नहस कर दिया चीन ने। चीन की ताकत के सामने भारत का विदेश मंत्री कहता है, थर-थर कांपता है। वो कहता है कि साहब उनकी अर्थव्यवस्था बड़ी है, कि जयशंकर ने कहा है कि चीन की अर्थव्यवस्था बड़ी है, हम उसके खिलाफ नहीं लड़ सकते। तो सवाल यह है कि जब भारत का विदेश मंत्री इस तरह का बयान देगा, रक्षा मंत्री सीमाओं पर नहीं जाएंगे, गृह मंत्री अपनी सीमाओं की रक्षा नहीं कर पाएंगे, प्रधानमंत्री हिंदू मुसलमान करके वोट मांगेंगे। इस देश की सुरक्षा सेना के हाथ में और सेना बैरकों में बैठी हुई है। आप जो हमारे देश दुनिया की दूसरी सबसे बड़ी फोर्स है वो बैरकों में क्यों बैठी हुई है? क्यों नहीं उसे सीमा पर उतारा जाता?
ऑलराइट, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मिस्टर आईपी सिंह हमसे बात करने के लिए एंड फॉर योर पर्सपेक्टिव ऑन दिस। मेंबर्स ऑफ द इंडिया ब्लॉक क्लियरली नॉट satisfied with the Prime Minister's responses in that Newsweek interview. Pragya, coming back to you now, this discourse is only bound to get intensified now, especially over the claims and counterclaims that we're seeing being made. National security, of course, is a key issue as far as elections are concerned, and so is India's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The counterclaim coming from the BJP here is that the Congress party is also answerable for what happened vis-a-vis Kachativu and that it's running away from a response.
Well, Congress, in fact, BJP has always maintained that it is Congress party that had taken decision on the various borders and demarcations of our borderline areas with the neighboring countries. And that was the problem that we are facing right now. And BJP says that we are doing what we can right now to ensure that no more land can be ceded to neighboring countries who are looking at our lands. They keep on, transgressing into our areas, but our Indian army is also pushing them back again and again. This is a situation which is very volatile, and this is exactly why Prime Minister and also External Affairs Minister and Defence Minister says that we are engaged in a diplomatic, diplomatic discussion, and we also need to have military engagement with them so that there will be peace and tranquility on the border. This is exactly what Prime Minister has told Newsweek when he spoke about the border areas and border issues.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for that.